Hello everybody, just wanted to give you a little tutorial here, factoring quadratics with a common factor. And what you're going to find with these problems is that this process is very similar to when we factored out just a greatest common factor, with a slight little variation in the sense that then we'll look to see if the trinomial remaining can be factored or not. So let's go ahead and take a look at this problem. And if I take a look, here's a 2, a negative 18, and a 36. And what I should notice from those three values right there is that they all share a GCF of 2. So we already are comfortable with the fact that, hey, I could take that GCF out. And when I do, I'm left with 2 on the outside. I brought that out. 2 divided by 2 is a 1. Negative 18 divided by 2 leaves me with negative 9x. And then 36 divided by 2 would leave me with an 18. So now this is what I'm looking at. And as I look at this problem, what we want to try to do is see, is it possible for us to do any factoring with that trinomial that's remaining? So what I'm thinking to myself here is factors of 18. So I've got 1 and 18. I've got 2 times 9 gives me 18. I've got 3 times 6. And it's a positive, and this is a negative 9. And if I go with a negative and a negative right here, that's going to be my combination that works. So really, I could then think of this as 2 times the quantity of x minus 3 times the quantity of x minus 6. All right, so I'll come back up here and let's go ahead and type that in. There's my 2 times the quantity of x minus 3 times the quantity of an x minus 6. And we'll check it, and looks good. All right, so let's go on to the next problem. Using a similar approach here, we'll just do one more. Uh, as I take a look, this negative 3, 6, and 9, all of them are divisible by 3. Now, one of the little tricks here is that this is a negative. I'd like to take out a negative 3. What that means is that the signs are all going to change here, because if I think about it, negative 3 divided by negative 3 is going to give me a positive 1x squared. 6 divided by negative 3, that's going to give me a negative 2x. And then 9 divided by negative 3 would give me a negative 3. All right, so then once again, what we want to look at once I've got that GCF, is it possible for me to factor what's left? So I'm thinking here factors of negative 3. It'd have to be 1 and 3. This is a negative. This is a negative as well. I need it to be a negative 2. So as I look at this, I'm probably thinking a positive 1 and a negative 3. Those will multiply to give me negative 3. And if I add those two values together, it gives me negative 2. So now what I'm looking at is this quantity of an x plus 1, and then followed by a quantity of x minus 3. This would then be factored completely. So I'm going to go ahead and type that in, negative 3, and then my quantity of x plus 1, and I also have the quantity of x minus 3. We'll go ahead and check that. There you go. Hopefully that gets you guys off to a good start. Keep up all your hard work, and hopefully see you soon.